you know. But if I had to go out and say the top 4 teams in the East and the West, prediction for going into the 25-26 NBA season, my prediction for next year will be in the West, OKC #1, Houston #2. I'm gonna go with Minnesota for 3, and I'm gonna go with Denver at 4. And then if I had to go with 5, I think it's gonna be a toss-up between the Clippers and Dallas. One team I'm gonna leave off of there is Golden State. I love Steph. I love you, Steph. Please forgive me. But I don't think Steph got the help he need. Jimmy, he's a great player, but he's not what he was 5 years ago. And I love Draymond. Draymond, he that junkyard dog. He the pit bull. I love you, Draymond. But he's only going to do so much on defense because we don't have no center no more. Well, Golden State don't have no center anymore. So I'll put at 5 Golden State.
What happened to Looney? Where's Looney at?
Yeah, he just signed with I think the Pelicans. He just signed with the Pelicans. And another team I would say watch out for in the West. I think this is going to be, if anybody upset anybody, I think San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
That's a team that I'm going to look at a wild card. And then if we get to the East, I think the East is going to change a little bit. I'm going to go with, this is a long shot. I'm going to go with, next year, I'm going to go with New York, #1, Cleveland at #2, and then this is where it gets tricky. I'm probably going to go with Boston at #3. They still have a core, and I think some of the trades that they're making, they don't want to fall off. I don't think they believe they can win it, but they still want to be in contention. And then I think at 4 and 5, it's going to be a toss-up between Milwaukee, Detroit, and Orlando.
Detroit had a solid year. It's good to see those dudes getting better. Kay Cunningham is the real deal. It's good to see Detroit. I personally like Cleveland. I like Darius Garland. Evan Mobley. I think they got pieces for sure. It was unfortunate to see Donovan Mitchell be hurt, and Darius Garland was hurt too in the playoffs. So they struggled in the playoffs because of injuries. But I really like the core of what they have now. Boston, I think will be there. Obviously, they're missing Jason Tatum, right? The Achilles tear. I think he's going to be out all year. Tyrese Halliburton is going to be out.
And you know what? You notice I didn't put them in the top 5.
I did.
That's tough. Your star player, point guard, that's a tough.
Miles Turner signed with the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. Right? So he's not. I don't think he's on. He's not on Indiana for sure. I know he signed with somebody. I think it was the Knicks.
No, he signed. Miles Turner signed with Milwaukee.
Okay. Good. Thank you. And that's a good pickup for them. Great. That's a good pickup for them. They need somebody to kind of take that pressure off of Giannis in the middle, right? Was it Brook Lopez? Did he sign with the Lakers? Back with the Lakers?
Yeah, Brook Lopez. He signed with the Clippers.
Oh, he signed with the Clippers. So they replaced Brook with Miles Turner. I think that's a good pickup for them.
That's a huge upgrade.
Absolutely, I agree. What was I going to say though?
And I want to talk about one team real fast. A team I've been watching. I want to see them make it to the play. To be honest, I don't even really like this team, but I do love this player because I followed him right here from Chino Hills. LaMelo Ball.
Yes, sir.
In the Charlotte Hornets. And I'll put LaMelo Ball first. I am not a Hornets fan, but I love LaMelo Ball. I watched him in high school when he used to play at USC in the tournaments. And one memory, I think he was in the 10th grade because I think Lonzo was still playing with him, or his other brother. He was in the 10th or 11th grade. LiAngelo, yeah, but I knew Melo was going to be a superstar. One, I love his dad, LeVar Ball. He a great father, one of my Parent of the Year candidates. But LaMelo, in the 10th grade, This kid was shooting half-court shots in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if it was 9th or 10th grade where I seen him, and he was still a little dude. He's
Yep.
6'7" now, right?
Yep.
But he was a little dude with a big giant afro, man. But he could handle the ball and he could score. That was the number one thing I seen.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, this youngster right here is gonna be the real deal.
Nice.
So yeah, I like LaMelo a lot. And shout out to LeVar Ball, and let's give it up to that cat, man, for being a father, man, being a father to your children, bro. And it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't always have something to say about a strong personality. But LeVar Ball, man, God bless you, man. God bless you and lift you up, man. You keep
Yes,
doing
sir.
what you do, man. Take care of your kids because your kids are successful as a direct result of you
As
and
you.
your what you've done for them.
And that's enough. I follow Lonzo when he was at UCLA. I used to watch the Ball in the Family. I followed him when they went to Lithuania. But I always said, Lonzo is dope. But I said LaMelo the one. So I want to say something to the Charlotte Hornets organization. Hey, I know y'all building for the future and all that, man. But get LaMelo some muscle. Get him some dogs out there. All the little pretty players ain't gonna cut it. Get him some junkyard dogs. I mean, the right situation. LaMelo with his current state, he need a Draymond Green. He need a bulldog out there.
Yeah.
But LaMelo, nice.
No, it's nice. I want to get back to something though, I think, before we move on from this. I don't understand the New York Knicks. I know they've made some good personnel moves, right? Bringing in Big Cat, Mikal Bridges. They've done some good things in terms of their personnel, but how in the world do you get to the Eastern Conference Championship and then fire your coach?
Yeah, I was in disagreement with that. I like Thibs, hardcore, old school. But I think now this generation of players, and it was another podcaster talking about it, but what it is, Thibs come from that old school where he was like, I'm the coach, you the player, that's it, that's all. These new coaches, these new younger coaches and these new younger players, they want more that they buddy, they friend, they want you to be nice to them, talk to them nice, and all of that.
It's a players' league, though.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? So the players dictate pretty much who's going to coach the team, right? We certainly see that in a lot of cases. Certainly out here in LA, we see, you know, LeBron kind of being the voice of the Lakers, right? He's like the GM of the Lakers to a certain degree. But I do agree with you in that regard. Thibodeau is an old school dude. He's a stand-up dude. Like his players don't rule over him.
Exactly.
But one thing I will say about him though is because last year, or 2 years ago, let's say, right? He was hard on his players. He had a reputation of wearing players down in the playoffs. I know there was one game where Jason Hart played 48 minutes, right? So he was wearing his players down to a certain degree, but he came back this year, right? And changed that and got a better performance out of his players. Isn't that what you want out of a coach? Look at what you did well, what you didn't do so well, analyze your performance objectively, and then make your adjustments accordingly. And I thought he did that, and I just don't understand how the Knicks haven't been to the Eastern Conference Championship since 2000, right? 25 years ago, and they haven't won an NBA championship since '73. Come on, we're somewhere in that ballpark, and then you just get back now, and all of a sudden you want to fire your coach. I disagree with that. I think they've done some good things in terms of personnel, but I think they let go of a good coach.
Yeah, me too. I think
And shout out to Mike Brown.
Shout out to Mike Brown. And let me say this really quick about Mike Brown. Mike Brown, in my opinion, he's a good regular season coach. But I don't think he really gonna move the needle. I think the Knicks gonna be at that top seed, and the Knicks is gonna mess around and lose in the second round. That's how I get with New York, because Mike Brown I don't think he's the best fit for this squad.
I think Mike Brown, and I hate to diminish, what the brother's doing there. Mike Brown is a top tier assistant coach in the NBA.
Exactly.
Right? He's been on. I think he was on Golden State when they won the championship. Right?
Yep.
He was the assistant with Golden State. But I don't think his head coaching resume says a lot about, or says as much about him as his assistant head coach. Now you want to see him get an opportunity, and I hope he does succeed. I hope the Knicks do win the East. I hope they do. I hope they are there in the end. But I just don't. His head coaching ability doesn't seem to match his assistant coaching ability. He's a good coach. I'm glad to see him in the league making money. But I don't think that's the greatest pickup for the Knicks.
I agree. I agree. Like I said, he's a good regular season coach. But congratulations to you, Mr.
Absolutely.
Brown, Coach Brown.
Absolutely. Get your money.
God bless you.
What about the Lakers doing? Or you ain't touched on that yet?
Yeah. We gotta wait and see. I'm not really because it hasn't officially took place yet. So
Okay.
I think they won't. It won't be official till October, November.
Okay.
But he comes from the Dodgers.
Right.
So we just gotta see if they're gonna keep that all out win. And then speaking of the Lakers, LeBron James. It's tough because I love LeBron James. I love LeBron James. I'm a diehard Laker. But I hope LeBron get another ring before he calls it quits. But I don't see him getting a ring this season on the Lakers, and I don't see the Lakers trading him really.
I don't know what's gonna happen there. I'm a Laker fan for life. Born and raised here. Santa Monica, California. You know me, Los Angeles, more or less. Laker fan for life. I remember the Showtime. I remember the wars we used to have with the Boston Celtics, so on and so forth. So I'm going to be a Laker fan for the rest of my life. Long after LeBron is gone and anything else, JJ and Luka and everybody else, we still going to be Laker fans. But I'm not a LeBron fan. Now, respect to LeBron. He has gotten himself out of a very tough upbringing, right? I've heard stories about him being homeless, sleeping on people's couches, and I love that story for him, right? For him and his family. But in terms of basketball, I think he's ran his course with the Lakers. I don't think there's much more he can do for the Lakers. And I really would like to see the Lakers move on from that, but it's hard to move on from a man that's helping your organization, that's putting billions of dollars into your organization. So I understand it's a business. I get that. But in terms of the game, in terms of the team, I'm a little bit over the LeBron James experiment.
Yeah, I hope the Lakers do well, but for some reason I think they just gonna finish the season mediocre. Probably gonna be a play-in 7-8 seed.
Where they've been the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and then we go from there. So they got DeAndre Ayton. We like to see. I think he's an underachiever. But hey, I'm rooting for the big fella.
Yeah, that's a wait to see. That's a work in progress right there.
So we'll see. So predictions: New York and OKC in the top of the East and West, and I think OKC may make it there. But the East, to be honest, is up for grabs.
The East is up for grabs. I think Cleveland's the best. I personally think Cleveland's the best team. I know they went out in the first round. I think they have the chemistry. I think they have the nucleus of players. They're bringing pretty much back their whole team. I like where Cleveland is at. I think New York for sure is going to be formidable with the experience they got. I don't know. I think it's between New York and Cleveland personally. I could be wrong, but I do right now making a prediction. I like those two teams in the East.
Absolutely.
And you're from Ohio, right?
Yeah, I was born in Ohio.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely. And I followed LeBron when he was at Oak Hill. They used to come down and play at Ohio State because he couldn't. It was too big for his high school gym. So they was making money off LeBron since high school. Absolutely. So we see, and hey, football season about to start, and we're gonna holler at you.